Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amore Love, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do a closure sew-in using Mayvenn Hair. If you are not subscribed, I invite you to do so now, and if you like the video at the end, then please go ahead and hit the thumbs up. First, I'm going to start by parting her hair down the center. Then I'm going to section the hair into small braids from a middle part, going away from the middle part and braiding them all to the back. Then I'm going to be connecting the braids to each other by using the end of one braid and including it into the next braid. Doing this helps to not have to sew down all the braids up to each other at the end, so it's a really good time saver if you don't want to sew down each braid to her base. Plus, it's going to be really easy for your client to take out her own sew-in if the braids aren't sewn to each other, if you just include it into the next braid. So to connect all the last braids, I'm going to be doing one side and then going to the other side. And then when I do that last braid, I'm basically just going to include both of those into the French braid. And then what I'm going to do is weave that one braid, that leftover braid, intertwining through all those little loops. And then as I sew in the bundles, I'm going to be sewing that braid to the base and the bundle at the same time, so that it's a really good time saver. And again, it's going to be a lot easier for your client to take out her own weave if the braids are not sewn down, and it's just going to save time for you. So now that we have the base done, I basically attached an elastic band to the closure, and then I use that just as my little helper so the client doesn't really have to do that much. I don't know, I just thought it would be a good idea, so I did that. And then it's funny because I actually ended up cutting it and just pulling it and sewing it. But yeah, you get the gist. I'm basically just sewing the closure one side at a time, starting from the back and leading my way forward up to her front hairline. And then I actually scoot the closure forward on her hairline because I'm going to be cutting off that PU strip. That thickness on the side is called a PU strip. So I'm going to cut that off and I'm going to scoot the forward in front. I'm going to scoot the closure in front of her hairline for a more seamless look. Plus, if you put the closure in front of their hairline, most likely the closure is going to be able to last longer because once the hair starts growing, the closure is going to move back, and then your client's going to have to come in for a closure touch-up midway through their sew-in, depending on how long they normally keep their sew-ins in. My client normally likes to keep hers in as long as humanly possible, so for her, we like to scoot it forward. She's not experienced with closures in this video, but since then, unfortunately, it took me forever to edit and upload this. But for her first time, we decided to do bangs so that she wouldn't have to worry about the hairline, while she can also have all of her hair up at the same time in a sew-in. Um, so yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah. She's new to closures and like lace material for sew-in and full sew-in. So we basically just decided on bangs so that it's easy maintenance. Plus, you ain't got to worry about your closure side and back midway through your sew-in because you have bangs to cover that. So yes, now that this closure is sewn on, I'm going to cut the extra lace from the front using a, what's that called? A razor? I forget the correct term for it, but I'll link it for you guys in the description. But yeah, I'm cutting that off in a jagged line. Um, it's not like you're gonna see it anyway, y'all. So I don't know why I even cut it in a jagged line. I'm just trying to do what I normally do when it comes to lace and weaves. So yeah, I cut off the PU strip and now I'm gonna extend that little corner and I'm gonna pull it back towards the braids, kind of like an anchor thread, so to speak. I don't really know what to call it, but yeah, um, it's basically on there. I just like kind of sewed it down to be flat. We're not going to use any glue or any of that because, like I said, we're going to be having bangs. So yeah. Next, I'm going to be just sewing on the bundles like regular. Y'all already know how to sew on bundles, but I wanted to show you after this bundle that I'm basically curving the bundles in the front at a diagonal angle because she doesn't have any leave out. So just in case, this is a really good method to do to curve them upward in the front so that the hairline is not exposed. So it's not just like hair and then braids, you know? So now I'm just taking my hot comb that I will also leave a link in the description for. It's a plug-in, and I'm just smoothing down the hair in the direction that I want the bangs to lay. And yeah, I'm basically just going to be cutting the bang, nothing special to it. Um, I'm not a bang cut expert, but she wanted longer bangs. Plus, if you're doing a closure, it's very smart to do longer bangs at first because, like I said, when you have a closure sew in, over time, your closure slides back. So if you do the bangs short off top, like your client's bangs gonna be mid forehead in like 3 weeks. So don't even do it to yourself. Make them long, and they can just, you know, curve them to the side for now. And then over time, as the sew in grows back, they'll have, you know, bangs that look right the whole time for the sew in. Does that make sense? I don't know. I think y'all get it. It's not rocket science. Just make the bangs longer at first because the closure will slide back. Boom, easy peasy. Now I'm just kind of like blending the bangs into the rest of the hair so it's not just like a China bang. You guys know a China bang just is like straight one length, you know, and then the hair gets long. We don't want that kind of look. We want it to be like layered in the front, off the bangs, so it's kind of like going longer on the sides. I'm sorry, y'all. It's freaking late, and I'm doing this voiceover to a video I did hella long ago, so I'm kind of watching it with you. I'm sorry. I guess you can tell by my hair length, huh? Anyways, so yes, I'm just basically feathering the sides so that it's not just like a stop with the bangs. And then this is the loose wave hair, you guys. My client actually wanted to wear it loose wavy, so we did that. And then I told her I really wanted you guys to see it straightened, so she agreed to come back and let me straighten it. However, she likes a very like natural, like poofy look, so I didn't do it bone straight, but I got a tutorial coming up for you guys where I will be straightening all the textures so you guys can see what kind of look you can get using the Mayvenn hair, if that makes sense. So yeah, for her, I'm just doing a natural straight as if like she was doing her own, you know, flat ironing her own hair and it was that long. But in another video, I'll show you guys how to actually get it bone straight, like it looked like you bought, you know, straight hair. Oh my god, I'm delusional. Okay, so yeah, I'm basically just flat iron it. Boom, boom, boom. You guys know the drill on how I flat iron. So yeah, hairspray, flat iron, comb chase method, easy peasy. And boom, this is the finished look. Wispy bangs and naturally flat ironed hair straight. So it's still like got that poofy look, but it's still definitely straight. And yeah, you guys can see that if you want to wear the loose wave, it kind of looks like the kinky straight hair when you flat iron it. But yeah, that's how it looks. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys liked the video. And if you're not subscribed and you enjoy the video, I definitely invite you to subscribe because I will be posting more content more frequently. So go ahead and join the family, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.